Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing.
On the ground! Get on the ground!
On July 18, 2024, in Little Rock, Arkansas, Trooper A. Cass spotted a black sedan speeding along Interstate 630. After clocking the vehicle at 77 miles per hour, the trooper initiated a traffic stop near the I-430 exit. The driver pulled over and claimed she was rushing to take her child to the doctor, but in reality, she was the only person in the car. Seconds later, before the trooper could verify her information, she hit the gas and took off.
Crossing Danbury Court. We're heading west on Pleasant Ridge. Correction, Pleasant Valley Drive. Speeds are at 70. Coming up on North Rocky Road.
The driver, later identified as Diviana Bullock, fled through city streets, running a red light and pushing speeds between 80 and 90 miles per hour. She blew through multiple stop signs on Pleasant Valley Road before merging back onto the highway. Once on I-430 South, speeds climbed past 100 miles per hour as she weaved through traffic trying to escape. Whatever plan she had, it wasn't slowing down. It was only getting more dangerous.
Where's the traffic? Traffic light. If you really call it. If we're coming up on Capital, take a left on Capital, going west on Capital. West on Capital. Now you gotta keep giving those speeds in traffic. Going south on 430, south on 430. Traffic light, D60. 44 to get a chance to be going into the GDI. We need it.
Started 10:16 and at 10:11 vehicles rolled in the median.
Trooper Cass moved in and executed a pit maneuver, sending the vehicle into the guardrail before it rolled into the median. Bullock was ejected from the car during the crash. Officers rushed in and immediately began rendering aid until EMS arrived and transported her to the hospital. The pursuit ended in the median, along with any chance of getting away. Charges: felony, fleeing reckless driving, driving on a suspended license, speeding, no insurance, obstruction. A fake story and a quick decision to run turned into a high-speed crash on the interstate. She made it out alive, but the charges were already waiting. On May 19, 2022, in Arkansas, State Trooper Dwayne Niles conducted a traffic stop on a black Lexus along Interstate 40 for a seatbelt and window tint violation. As he stood at the driver's window speaking with her, everything appeared routine for a moment. But without warning, the driver suddenly accelerated and took off. The driver, later identified as Diviana Bullock, had just turned a simple stop into a dangerous pursuit. Bullock pushed the Lexus to extreme speeds, quickly climbing past 140 miles per hour while weaving through busy highway traffic. She moved aggressively between lanes, cutting through vehicles with almost no margin for error. The pursuit continued through North Little Rock and Jacksonville, with speeds peaking around 146 miles per hour. At those speeds, even a small mistake would have ended everything instantly. But she kept going, showing no intention of slowing down. After exiting the interstate and reaching a clearer stretch of road, Trooper Niles positioned himself and executed a pit maneuver at approximately 114 miles per hour. The impact sent the Lexus out of control, spinning off the roadway before flipping onto its roof. The vehicle came to a violent stop upside down. Officers rushed in immediately, finding the driver trapped inside. Emergency crews were called to the scene and worked to extract her from the wreckage before she was transported to the hospital. Charges: felony fleeing reckless, driving obstruction, driving on a suspended license, speeding, no insurance. A routine traffic stop turned into a 140 miles per hour run and ended in a violent rollover. In the end, speed didn't win. It just made the crash worse. On January 21, 2026, in Fayette County, Georgia, deputies spotted a red SUV reported stolen out of Noonan. Lieutenant Akeen quickly located the vehicle near Brooks-Woolsey Road and attempted a traffic stop, but the driver had no plans of stopping. Instead, the SUV took off, turning a stolen vehicle case into a high-speed chase.
Approaching active route, speed 105. Fast rising star southbound.
The driver pushed speeds over 115 miles per hour, blowing through roads and ignoring any chance to pull over. Deputies followed as the SUV continued driving recklessly, putting everyone around at risk. At one point, the pursuit was close to being called off due to safety concerns. But before that decision could fully play out, the situation took a sudden turn.
Going left towards Brooks. 1050 radio rollover.
The SUV lost control near Brooks-Woolsey Road and the Highway 85 connector, rolling over and coming to a stop. Deputies rushed in and pulled the driver from the wreck. Surprisingly, despite the violent crash, the driver did not suffer any major injuries. The driver was later identified as a 17-year-old juvenile who had already been reported missing prior to the chase. Charges: speeding, reckless driving. Stop sign violation. Driving too fast for conditions. Driving without a license, giving a false name to an officer. A stolen vehicle, a 115 miles per hour chase, and a rollover that could have ended much worse. Sometimes the crash is the only thing that finally stops it, but by then, it's already gone too far. On May 18, 2022, in Little Rock, Arkansas, State Trooper Walker attempted to stop a silver Toyota Camry on Interstate 630 after noticing the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Instead of pulling over, the driver, later identified as Marcus Scott, hit the gas and took off. What started as a simple traffic stop quickly turned into a high-speed pursuit across the interstate.
744, clear West Roselle. Like on the 30 east, occupied 2 times, on 2 buckets.
Scott pushed the Camry to extreme speeds, reaching up to 129 miles per hour while weaving through traffic on I-30. He moved aggressively between lanes, showing no regard for the vehicles around him. At one point, he attempted to transition toward Interstate 40, still driving at high speed. Inside the car, the passenger later said the driver had panicked the moment police got behind them, and from that point on, the situation only got worse.
You want to learn anything? What's going on? You don't know what happened?
Yeah, 10-4. It's a rollover.
As Scott attempted to exit, he lost control and struck a roadside sign, sending the vehicle into a violent rollover. The car flipped multiple times before coming to rest on its side near a construction access road. The passenger, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the vehicle and thrown into the grassy median. Officers rushed in immediately. The passenger was injured but conscious, repeatedly asking officers to check on the driver. Inside the vehicle, Scott was found unresponsive. Despite life-saving efforts at the scene, he was pronounced dead. The passenger survived with non-life-threatening injuries, something officers made clear was extremely rare at those speeds. A traffic stop over a seatbelt turned into a 129 miles per hour chase and ended in seconds with a violent crash. The passenger walked away. The driver didn't. On September 8, 2025, in Ashtabula County, Ohio, a deputy attempted to stop a red motorcycle near Dwight Avenue and East 48th Street, but the rider, later identified as Jerry Pegram, refused to stop and took off, turning a routine stop into a pursuit.
No traffic. Yeah, I'm at the intersection.
going through private property, Grant.
The chase continued for over 20 minutes, with multiple deputies and a state trooper joining in. Speed stayed relatively low and traffic was minimal, but the situation was still unpredictable. During the pursuit, deputies reported that Pegram was throwing items from the motorcycle, described as small packages and baggies, as he continued riding. Eventually, Pegram lost control and crashed the motorcycle near Anderson Road. But even then, it wasn't over. He jumped up and ran into a wooded area, forcing deputies to follow on foot.
Go boy!
That's so far. What to do a stop? Approaching Anderson, coming to a stop. East on Anderson. Continue east on Anderson. Wrecked on foot. Now wrecked on foot.
480 the bike is caught on fire if you can send fire.
Inside the woods, officers caught up and attempted to detain him, leading to a physical struggle. A taser was deployed but had no effect. Moments later, Pegram reached under his clothing and began pulling out a firearm. Officers shouted, "Gun! Gun! Gun!" And within seconds, shots were fired. Pegram was struck multiple times. Deputies moved in, secured him in handcuffs, and attempted life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. A handgun was recovered from his person. What started as a low-speed motorcycle chase quickly escalated into something far more serious. In the end, a decision made in seconds changed everything. On December 27, 2025, an Arkansas state trooper was stationary on Interstate 40 eastbound when a white Chevrolet Camaro passed by. A quick check revealed the registered owner had a suspended license, giving the trooper a reason to initiate a stop. But when lights came on, the driver had other plans.
Day 2446 and 24. 284 eastbound to be a Chevy Camaro, Arkansas Boy, George X-ray, 76 item, Boy, George X-ray, 76 item. Chevy 1037. Notify THP. Crossing at Memphis right now.
At first, the Camaro didn't take off immediately. It continued at normal speeds, almost like the driver was deciding what to do. But as the trooper attempted to move in for a maneuver, the situation flipped. The driver suddenly accelerated hard, pushing speeds well over 100 miles per hour and continuing eastbound. The pursuit carried on toward the Tennessee state line, with the trooper maintaining visual contact while coordinating with other agencies. Even after crossing into Tennessee, the driver kept going, exiting the interstate and continuing through city streets, still refusing to stop.
We're taking North Front Street. We're still on Riverside Drive. We're passing Court Avenue. This is D24. Any THP units on Riverside Drive about Union Ave. We're still on Riverside Drive, passing Beale Street.
As the chase moved deeper into the area near Front Street and Beale Street, troopers were ultimately ordered to terminate the pursuit due to safety concerns. The Camaro continued on, and the active chase was called off. Offenses observed: fleeing/failure to yield, reckless driving, speeding over 100+ miles per hour, improper lane change. Not every chase ends with a crash or arrest. Sometimes it ends with a decision. And in this case, safety came first. On March 25th, around 4:14 p.m. in Lamar, Arkansas, officers were alerted to a stolen white Ford pickup pulling a trailer, reportedly carrying multiple loaded firearms. Moments later, an officer nearly got hit head-on by the same truck before losing sight of it. Within minutes, Arkansas State Police located the vehicle on Interstate 40, and when they tried to stop it, the driver refused. Just like that, the pursuit was on.
Looks like we got a front tire, front driver's side tire. Definitely front driver's side tire. 68 miles an hour. Westbound.
The truck continued westbound at speeds around 70 miles per hour, with the driver refusing to stop as multiple units followed behind. Even with officers closing in, the suspect kept pushing forward, continuing down the interstate with no intention of pulling over. The pursuit stretched on for miles as law enforcement stayed with the vehicle, waiting for it to finally come to an end.
He's on the rim. He's about to come to a stop here soon. Just before the Franklin. Right, we're pulling over on the shoulder just before Franklin County.
29 to felony place, Alan, your 10.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
With the truck disabled, it came to a stop on the shoulder, but the situation took an unexpected turn. The suspect jumped out of the vehicle completely naked and tried to run. That escape didn't last long. Officers quickly caught up and tackled the suspect, taking her into custody without further incident. A loaded revolver was later found inside the stolen truck. Charges: theft of vehicle and trailer, felony fleeing reckless driving, refusal to submit to arrest a stolen truck, loaded weapons, a flying trailer, and somehow it ends with a foot chase no one expected. You really never know how these chases are going to end. On On May 19, 2016, in Warren County, Ohio, state troopers attempted to stop a vehicle on Interstate 71 near State Route 48 after reports of reckless driving. As troopers approached the car, a female passenger signaled that she needed help. But before officers could react, the driver, identified as Thomas Gorman, suddenly sped off, dragging a trooper a short distance as he fled. In an instant, this was no longer a routine stop. The chase finally came to an end near Winton Road, where Gorman lost control of the vehicle. Troopers moved in quickly, and after a brief struggle, he was taken into custody. The female passenger, who had been assaulted during the incident, was safely removed and taken to a secure location, where she was later reunited with her family. Charges: kidnapping. Felonious assault, fleeing and eluding, reckless operation. What began as a reckless driving stop quickly turned into a dangerous situation, but in the end, the victim got out safely, and the suspect didn't get far. On January 17, 2026, around 12:56 a.m. in Little Rock, Arkansas, a state trooper spotted a gray Toyota RAV4 flying down Interstate 430 south at 100 miles per hour in a 65 zone. Even after the patrol unit got behind the vehicle, the driver didn't slow down. Instead, he exited onto Stagecoach Road and made it clear he wasn't planning to stop.
Yep. 10%. Westbound Stagecoach Road. TBI, Crystal Valley.
I can't see that side. Driver, everyone put your hands out! Everyone put your hands out!
Felony stop. Stagecoach for Crystal Valley. Got multiple occupants. Felony stop.
Everyone keep your hands out! Do you hear me? Driver! I can't see on that other side.
Yeah, I've got...
Hey, just everyone hold what you got, alright? Just obey my directions, we'll be okay. Do you understand?
Front seat passenger, keep both hands out the window! Put both your hands out the window!
With the situation escalating, troopers made the decision to intervene. A tactical maneuver was executed, sending the SUV into a spin before it was pinned and brought to a stop. Officers approached with weapons drawn and ordered all 5 occupants out of the vehicle. During the investigation, officers located marijuana and a digital scale inside.
Everyone keep your
The driver, Labrian Blue, showed signs of intoxication and admitted to drinking. He was also uncooperative and resisted arrest, while another passenger admitted ownership of the drugs. Charges: driver, Labrian Blue, felony fleeing, DWI, reckless driving, refusal to submit to arrest, refusal of chemical test, possession of marijuana, disorderly conduct, speeding, no seatbelt. Passenger, Chrislyn Ross, possession with intent to deliver, possession of drug paraphernalia, 100 miles per hour, 5 people in the car, and not a single tap on the brakes. The chase didn't last long, but it didn't need to. Thanks for riding the adrenaline wave with us here at Mind Rush. If you're hungry for more heart-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat excitement, don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more mind-blowing moments coming your way soon.